overtraining, it's always bad, right? Maybe not. There may be some benefits every once in a while to pushing beyond what is necessary, to going a little too hard or too long. By the way, fitness fanatics, relax. We're going to explain it here. I'm not trying to justify your overtraining, but sometimes there may be some benefits, and we're going to talk about those in today's episode. Let's go.
This reminds me of the conversation we had with our good friend Andy Galpin.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Because I remember he articulated this really well. We tend to kind of beat that drum a lot, right? Because a lot of people that listen
need to hear
adapt and optimize.
Yeah, they need to hear it. That if you're, I mean, just in our experience, if you're proactively listening to a fitness podcast, you're probably working out and doing that. Now, not even though we have seen some people that don't, but for the most part, you're into that.
There's a self-selection bias.
Yeah, right. And a lot of our clients would undereat and overtrain, and so we tend to that. But I remember when we kind of were having like, it was not, I guess, a debate, but a conversation around that. And he made the case that, well, you know, there's also some value in actually pushing the body when it's, you know, overly stressed, all those things, lack of sleep. And then he explained why occasionally that can be, but doing that chronically is a terrible idea.
Yeah. So the reason why this came up for me was I was thinking about this in relation to competitive endeavors. So oftentimes you'll, as a coach or a trainer, or even just look, even if you just talk to anybody who trains at a high level for sport, if you have any understanding of workout programming and appropriate intensity, oftentimes you'll look at their workouts, their practices, and be like, that's too much. Why are they doing that? And not all these coaches are bad. A lot of these coaches are great, and they're doing this to their athletes. What's going on? I think a lot of the value, and we could talk about some of the physiological value too, but I think a lot of the value of doing that is it's really at training the mind,
mental toughness,
and the psychology at the expense of, you know, maybe some extra muscle gains or conditioning. And
it's grit.
It is. I was actually talking with Josh about this a week ago, and we were talking a little bit about this. I said, you know, pushing the body and the mind beyond what's appropriate or perfect for physical adaptations. I said, when you're in the ring, because he's a fighter. So Josh manages a lot of our social media, and he's a fighter. He was a boxer. Now he also does kickboxing and other stuff. It's like when you're in the ring, that fight is not appropriate training. Like, you're fighting. And oftentimes what separates the winner from the loser
their will.
It's just the dude that is just they're able to just keep going when everything in their body's telling them not to. Is there value in that kind of training for the average person? Well, I'll pose this question. Are there ever going to be seasons in your life when things are suboptimal and you got to kind of push through things? Yeah, have kids. That alone will do it to you. Or, you know, there's going to be times of stress with the job, and so there's that mental component where there's that value, and that's where I think a lot of this is. That's where I would kind of rest.
I find these kind of conversations hard these days because people can't deal with nuance. They just cannot, like, take a step back and like, well, this is contradicting what you previously espoused, and you know. Unfortunately, like, training is a lot of that. Like, it's case by case, and it's individual by individual. And it's really, it's that intention. Like, what are we intentionally focusing on right now that we're trying to strengthen and embolden? And maybe it's mental discipline. Maybe it's grit. And that looks different. That looks different than optimizing my body to adapt towards, you know, building muscle, for instance, or like thriving and feeling like super energetic and awesome. You know, sometimes you got to be in the shit totally. And you have to work your way out of it. And that's an important skill to obtain.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a spectrum. And at any time you could fall somewhere on that spectrum. And if you're the type of person who tends to heed the advice that we talk about of undereating, overtraining, and it's like the slightest bit of a potential cold coming on, or not perfect sleep, or I didn't have a perfect diet, you go, oh, you know, I don't want to overtrain. I don't want to work out, so I don't work out. and you tend to do that all the time, you're the type of person where it's like, we could probably throw some of these days into your routine more frequently just for the mental toughness part of that. If you're on the other side of the spectrum where you ignore all signs of that your body is exhausted, underfed, you haven't rested appropriately, you're hammering it way too much, and you lean on that more often than not, well, then this advice isn't for you. Like, you're the type of person that needs to learn to listen to their body more, recover more, and is way overdoing it, and that's why you're not seeing your results. So that's why it's nuanced, to your point. And everybody wants to be in a camp of like, this is the way. It's like, no, this isn't the way, nor is this the way. It depends on the type of client that's sitting in front of me. And, a good trainer in a relatively short period of time figures out who that client is, right? Like, it didn't take me very long.
Good point.
To know.
There's the ones that you got to kind of push.
Yeah. I very much so would have a client that would say something to me like, oh, I didn't get very good sleep. That's okay. We're gonna get after it anyways, because I know who this client is. And then there's other clients that are like, no, I'm fine. I didn't get the best, but I'm fine. Let's go. And I'm like, no, we're gonna take it easy this time. So as a good coach and trainer can learn that client, understand their habits, where they lean towards, and then correct the type of behavior. It's not black or white.
Yeah, there were oftentimes these clients where I would do it. I would push them so that they could see what they were capable of, which would change the filter at which they viewed or perceived pain during exercise and challenge. I would say for the fitness fanatics that are listening, like the people that don't miss workouts, very consistent, it's part of your life, you're probably going to live in what's considered optimal for physiological change, strength and energy and mobility and feeling good. 90% of the time, 9 out of 10 workouts are going to be what are considered appropriate. 10%, maybe even 5% are the ones where you overdo it. And the overdoing it is valuable for the big picture. So what you're doing, you're sacrificing gains, because that's what happens when you overdo it. You're not going to get the gains as quick, right? So you're sacrificing a little bit of gains for the gain of testing yourself a bit and seeing where those limits are. Because here's what can happen to me even. Because I'll tend to push it too hard, probably too often. But sometimes what can happen to me is I will leave, this is a specific example, I'll leave 2 reps in the tank. In other words, I'll pick a weight that I think I would fail at 10 reps with, and I'll do 8. But then I'll go through a short season of training to failure and realize I was actually leaving more like 4. And this can happen, for me at least, with certain exercises in particular, like squats. With squats, I'm much more likely to stop when I have 5 reps in the tank than when I have 2, because they hurt so bad. And I don't know sometimes, I don't know until I'll do a couple sets to failure. And this is what it feels like. I'll have, so much weight on the bar, I'll get to 8, and I'll be like, oh my God, okay, this is a failure set. I think I could do 2 more, and I'll do 2, and I'll be like, oh wait, I have 2 more, and I'll do 2 more. I'll be like, wait a minute, I have 2 more, and then I'll fail, and I'll be like, whoa, I had 6 when I thought I only had 2. So there's that value as well. But is that
as you're saying this, I'm trying to think like how, I'm curious, Justin, your point, because I agree. Squats are unique like that.
They're
like,
brutal.
They're the only ones that I think I misgauged the most.
Of course.
Like deadlift, it's very obvious if that's going to get pulled up off the ground one more time or not, right? Like I could tell the one before, it was just like, that took everything to get that thing off the ground. So deadlifting, I'm like, I know right where the failure's at.
Yeah.
But there's something about dropping in the hole in a squat and thinking like, oh, I can't get that out. And then you grind it out and you're like, oh, I got that out. And like, I don't think I have another one. And then you grind it out and you get another one.
Yeah, because the feeling on your back, sometimes it's crushing and it really messes with you psychologically. And then you have to go through the full mechanics and know like at the bottom, I'm going to be okay or I'm not going to be okay. It's like kind of a crapshoot,
It is squats, right? It's got to be unique to that. There's nothing else.
No.
There's nothing else I can think.
Because deadlift, you're right. It's like, boom, just get rid of it.
Yeah, deadlift for some people are scary, but squats are up there. Upper body exercises, I'm not that scared if I'm going to, and it doesn't feel so.
Not even just scared, it's gauging.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like I can easily gauge a bench press, easily gauge an overhead press, easily gauge a deadlift.
Squats feel like you're done before you're done. done.
Many times I'm like, I don't got any more. And then if I got somebody with me, like, no, you got it. And then they're like, oh shit, I did.
Who's that bodybuilder in Pumping Iron? There's one scene in Pumping Iron. It's one of the more popular ones with Fitness Fanatics.
Where he keeps telling them 2 more.
Yeah, it's
two more.
What's his name? Ed Corney? Is that his name, Doug? Maybe you could look it up. And they're doing squats. It's this great scene, everybody. You can find it on YouTube. And Arnold is working out with a bodybuilder. I think he was famous for his posing. He had really great posing. I think it was Ed Corney.
He keeps slapping him on the back. He keeps telling him, no, 2 more. 2 more.
Yeah, and Eddie's doing squats, and they're going, and it's hard. It is a hard. By the way, this is in the 70s when they did 25 sets of everything. And he's doing squats. This is before they leg pressed or did a lot of leg extensions. And Ed's like, he comes up, and he's like, 2 more, Eddie, 2 more. And he does 2 more. And he's like, no, you got more. And you're like, does he have more in him? Like, I don't know. What's his name? Is it Ed Corney?
Yeah, Ed Corney.
Ed Corney, yeah. What a great scene, because at the end of it, Ed Corney like, in fact, before he does the last rep, you could tell he's like trying to psych himself up. Then he racks it and he falls on the ground. Yeah. And then Arnold, like typical, workout buddy style, just steps over him and adjusts the bar so he can do his set, Like his buddy's on the ground. He's like, hey, are you okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Like, all right, you just step over you while I do the set. Today's giveaway is the MAPS Super Bundle. If you want to win, leave a comment below this video. In the first 24 hours that we drop it, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications. If you win, we'll notify you in the comments section. Also, everything's 60% off right now for Black Friday. Go to mapsfitnessproducts.com, use the code Black Friday. Every purchase enters you into a contest. 2 people get a week vacation at the Mind Pump Park City House. 15 people get personal training. 10 people get the opportunity to hang out here at Mind Pump Studio all day long. And because it's Black Friday, it's triple entries. 3 times as many entries for every purchase. Again, 60% off everything. mapsfitnessproducts.com, the code Black Friday.
You guys, real quick, I just want to mention we got a sale. It's up to 25% off equipment and select apparel on our store right now. There'll be $5 items as well. Sale will be from November 20th through November 30th. Go check it out at mindpumpstore.com. Yeah, that's the thing about it. It's objective that way.
Yeah.
If you don't include stress testing it to that degree, you don't really know your capability. Like you're not, you don't have a real good, accurate gauge of like you're being honest with yourself. Like this is really what I'm capable of producing versus like, speculating like on a chart. Like, here's where I should be.
And I often will think about this in a different context when I just talk to my immigrant relatives and how they lived, and anything about how stressed out I get when I take my kids to the grocery store, and I'm like, they're crying or, my daughter doesn't want to sit still. And I'm like, I can't handle this. And then, my mom used to do this with 4 kids, and my grandmother took a ship from Italy, which broke down in the middle of the ocean. And all she had was a block of cheese to feed the kids and her. And I'm like, how did they sleep and what did they do? And then you look at the data and we're so anxious and stressed now, but objectively life is so much easier. And I think it has a lot more to do with how we perceive things and maybe the purpose behind things than the actual things that are happening. Now working out obviously is not that, but it's kind of a controllable that you could test a little bit. And I think that there's a toughness that can be developed through your training that you can even push yourself to test. But I will also say this for people who chronically overtrain. Yeah. Sometimes the challenge that you need to train yourself with, the mental challenge is not that can you push yourself until you kill yourself, because that's what you're doing now, but rather can you lay off?
Well, I mean, that's what that's like somebody like you struggles with, right? That's right. Yeah, it's like it's not hard to get you up in the morning to do your lift, but it's a lot harder for you to go like, oh, I'm just going to take it easy today in this lift because of the relationship that you have with it. I think a lot of people. I mean, you share that openly and honest, right? But I think a lot of people are naive to that or justify it because they're healthy, they're fit, they look like you, right? And so they go, oh, I'm doing it right. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing it wrong.
Right. But again, I think if you look at your whole routine and, 10% of the time is when you challenge yourself, I think that's probably, for consistent people, probably the number. And if people were being honest, they probably look more like the reverse, where most of the time they're overdoing it. Yeah. And then 10% of the time, they train appropriately because they're forced to. Like their body's just like, you need a break. And so then they do that for a little bit until they just come out of the hole.
You know, this is why I want to get a hold of that Ethan kid that I sent you the other day.
Oh.
The really big kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going down the
a lot of fitness people are grabbing
Jocko him. And a lot of people that are like, who else did I just see him with recently who was, they're telling him to like get after it and keep pushing and so that kid's already training like 7 days a week and taking 20,000 steps and like and he's using the scale. It's like I want to get a hold of him. So
I'm so glad you brought that up, Adam, because the temptation for a fitness person, we'll just say fitness person, influencer, expert, whatever, is to look at somebody who's struggled with being obese their whole life and to simply think that person just needs to learn how to grind and discipline and beat themselves up more.
Yeah, it's not that.
And there, I understand why there's some truth in that, right? There's some truth in that there's a discipline involved with not overeating and being active. That's true. But here's why that approach is wrong. What you're doing is you're telling that person to beat themselves up more, and what you fail to realize is that is a person that beats themselves up all the time already, just in a different way.
Different form of self-hate.
Yeah, so what you're doing is you're taking them from hating yourself like this, now let's hate yourself like this, and that will not result in a sustainable approach. What you need to do is take that person and say, stop hating yourself. We're going to start to get you to learn how to care for yourself. And then when you come out of that and you go through that and you develop a better relationship, then you can learn how to test yourself and push yourself, but from a good place. Otherwise, what it turns into is more self-hate, which is then, because my fear with that guy, Adam, because I know a lot of people reached out to him. Why? Because he went viral, and he's also seems like a great kid. So of course he's gonna reach out to these really famous, popular, fitness personalities that tend to be more on that side, the David Goggins types, right? My fear is that this kid follows them, continues to keep saying weight loss, develop this fame with now he's lost all this weight, and then he gets stuck in this, oh my God, what do I do? How do I I'm going to let people down. And
well, I've been watching the journey the whole time. I've been meaning to reach back out to him. But I also, I'm not the type of person to be like, hey bro, you're doing it wrong. Let's do it this way. Like I sent him over episodes of ours to start listening to in hopes that he would start to listen to the podcast and maybe start to hear some of the information versus me trying to tell him what to do. Like it's not my style to do that. But I know he's in the burn phase. Like he's in this phase of eating less, got to move more, got to train more to keep seeing that scale go down. And like we keep getting on the scale and measuring that as a victory or not every week. And it's like, it's not how I would train him. It's not how I train him at all. A scale would not even be anything we pay attention to right now. It's like, and I'd want his body fed so he could get strong and build muscle. But in the caloric deficit he's running in and the activity level he's at, like he's not going to build muscle.
Yeah.
He's burning body fat because he's disciplining himself unbelievably to move like crazy, but that is not the long-term strategy to take off 200 something pounds and keep it off forever.
And not keep it off.
So, and again, and then, leaning on these fitness people that have a more militant mind, like, and like that's not what that guy needs. It's not, you just need
it's not a good fit.
That's not the path. Like it's the path to being fit and healthy for the rest of your life is not this strenuous 7 days a week of thinking about food and exercise. That is not the path to health.
No.
Like is not thinking about every meal you have to eat and training every single day and stepping 15, 20,000 steps every day to be healthy. Like it's unrealistic.
You know what it does too to that person is then that person inevitably will be like, is this what it takes?
Yeah.
Is this what it's like to be obsessed with this stuff all the time? And then they'll see somebody who's not that way. And then what it sometimes will happen is they'll turn inward in shame. I got the worst genetics ever. Like that person, they only have to work out a few days a week. They seem to be eating. Like, what's wrong with me? Why do I got to just eat 1,500 calories a day and just beat the crap out of myself? That's definitely not the approach. One way that I stretched myself years ago that's come into my mind that was very instrumental for me, and I say for me because it was unique to someone who never went 3 hours without eating. So for years and years and years, probably I would say from the age of maybe 17, every 2 hours I would eat every 2 hours. And if it wasn't a meal, it was a protein bar to the point where I took stuff with me obsessively. I mean, when I had my studio, when I was training people, I'd have my food with me, and then my client would come in to warm up. I'd go in the back and I'd eat real quick, whether I was hungry or not. And it was something that stretched me was when I first fasted. And it wasn't a fitness thing. I think it's a terrible way to. We've talked about this. There's lots of episodes if you want to hear it, our take on fasting for fat loss. But for me, it was groundbreaking because it broke the chains that eating every other hour had on me. That I didn't realize
constraints.
Like I fasted for a day, and then I was like, oh, I had the same experience. I could do this. You did too. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's liberating, and I think it just in the back of your mind, you get this bit of anxiety and panic because you're not eating or you're not. It just feels like you're shrinking or something. Psychologically, you're just like, oh, this can't be good, and then you just realize like nothing's happening. Like you're gonna be just fine. The next day you eat and everything is normal. So it's like, you just have to get through the panic of it.
Yeah.
I want to make the point though, because since you transitioned to that point after talking about the really overweight kid, like that's an horrible thing for him to hear.
Of course.
And try.
Of course.
But the flip is, guys that were orthorexic and were focused on every calorie and trying to eat as you. I used to weigh myself after every meal, carried a bag around. I used to set alarms at 2 o'clock in the morning to pound a shake and go back to bed.
You know how lucky we are.
We don't want to lose size.
Do you know how hard we would have spiraled if we were roommates?
Yeah.
we would have
got jacked.
Yeah, bro, and died.
No. And so, I was so insecure about not having enough that if I didn't eat. Yeah. And I mean, imagine being a full-time trainer. You're working 6-7 days a week, 10 clients a day. You're moving I would on a bad day move 15,000 steps, and you're lifting weights. Yeah, so I had to have 4,000 plus calories a day to maintain that metabolism. Much less try and build on that. Was just like it was so
obsessive.
Yeah, super obsessive. Yeah. Super obsessive.
So yesterday, so you guys know what happened yesterday, and I'll give you a little update to the end of the day. So my daughter's actual birthday was yesterday, so now I can share the story. I don't want to share it first because I want to make sure I had a good ending, but she just turned 16, and she's a very disciplined, hardworking girl, love her to death. And for her birthday, so she's turning 16, she needs to get a car anyway. And she wants a car, so I've been kind of looking for a car. So we decided for her birthday and Christmas, it's both, that I'd get her a new car. And so she had
a double gift. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna, I gotta make it somehow come on, dude. Like these kids are.
I mean, you say that, but I'm really proud of you. You didn't make a big deal about it. You didn't say anything like, but you could have. A lot of parents, especially parents that love their kids that are in your situation, would have bought something else. Like
it was nice, dude. She got a nice car.
It is. It is nice, but it's not. It's like it's.
Oh, I know. Some parents get their kids ridiculous. Yeah. It's just crazy.
Brand new Tesla or something.
Yeah, crazy. But
I mean, it's not even a brand new car.
No.
No.
No, I got her a 2021 Wrangler. Which is, that's a great 16-year-old kid, girl.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a great idea. But but I just think that's so cool and the fact that you also made it a double present, so you don't even get Christmas present. That's your present for your birthday.
Well, I'm like, you talk about this sometime, Adam, like where you're like, oh, my kid's gonna have so much. How do I, present?
Yeah.
Adversity, and I can also be a little bit like this was, especially with my older kids, because when I got divorced from their mom. A little bit of like trying to always keep them happy and being afraid to, pull back. And I'm also have that tendency, and you guys know me, I'm a caretaker at heart. So like, one time you and I traveled, and you had your Achilles issue, and I'm like bringing you things.
Yeah.
It's my nature.
Yeah.
Which can not be great.
Well, that's the point why I'm giving you kudos on this, because I do know that about your relationship with your two older, and so there's this tendency to wanna want to do more, right? To impress them or make them happy or make up for lost time or whatever the thing is. So for you to be able to keep that at bay while do that, I think is, kudos to you to be able to do that.
Well, I appreciate it. So anyway, she wakes up and she expected, this is the part that made me mad. I didn't tell her she's getting this, but we talked about it like this, this is the car you want. Let me think about it. So I didn't really tell her. But she wakes up in the morning. She's at her mom's house. So this is the week she's with her mom. And she wakes, and it's her birthday. So I call to say happy birthday. And she's in the car with my ex-wife. She's taking her to school. And she's acting like, and I just call her to say happy birthday. She's acting kind of like moody, you know? So I'm like, what's going on? And so I'm on speakerphone. And her mom's like, and she knows we got her the car, right? But we're not telling her yet. She's like, oh, she's upset that she didn't get a car. And I'm like, excuse me? So immediately in my mind, I'm like, spoiled. You know, how dare you wake up, you know, upset you didn't get a car. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking like, I've ruined this kid. So I'm on the phone with her. I'm on the phone with her and she's acting kind of moody after I called to say happy birthday because of that. And so I just lay into her, which was a mistake. So I just hammer her over the phone. And I'm like,
happy birthday.
Yeah. I'm like, you better change your, you know, what did I say to her? You better have a heart posture change because later we're going to have dinner for her birthday, which was when I was going to give her her gift. So like, you better change your attitude and your heart posture. You're going to be so embarrassed. I promise you're going to regret it if you don't. I'm like laying into her. So then I hang up, right? And she's at school and she's crying now at school. So I'm getting messages from my ex-wife. She wants me to pick her up. She's crying. So I'm like, oh my God, dude, I was a little too harsh, but part of me is kind of like, all right, you know.
Yeah, well, can you tell the audience what you wanted to do?
Well, my instinct, I had this instinct, this very angry instinct in me was to go, I wasn't going to do this, okay? But I was mad.
It crossed your mind.
Bro, I was mad, dude. I was going to film myself in front of her car. Be like, this is your present, and then smash the windows. And be like, now you're going to have to fix the windows out of your own pocket. I'm so glad I didn't do something crazy.
Glad you didn't do that.
Everybody thinks I'm a crazy dad. I'm not like that. But in my heart, the anger was like, this would be like,
this will teach her.
This is the Sicilian. This is when the Sicilian side. And I was texting my wife how mad I was, and she was really doing a good job bringing me down. She's like, look, she's 16. She's a kid. They're naturally, you know, this way. She had an expectation. She's just disappointed. This happened to me once when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, my wife when she was 16, she wanted her room to be redone, and she was telling the story at dinner, and she was so mad about it and upset, not realizing that at that moment her mom was redoing her bedroom.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm like, I'm calm, coming down. So I'm like, we'll see what happens. And anyway, of course, before we take her to dinner, we present her with her gift, and I put a bow on the car. And she comes out and she's like, I'm so embarrassed. When we get in the car, she's like, she just wants to say it in front of everybody. I acted like a brat, Papa. I'm really sorry. I'm so embarrassed. And so I'm like, all right, you know.
That's all you want right there. Because I think.
And I did tell her, like, you did act like a brat. You totally acted like a brat. But it's okay. I forgive you. You know?
I do feel like it's built into, you know, I could think of a story too of even myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, of like you thought something.
I'm glad you told me that. You did tell me that. That helped me too, Adam, because you were not spoiled.
No, right. And
so when I heard it from you, then I was like, okay, yeah, that's right. When you're 16, the world revolves around
you. Just how you do it. You get you in your head, especially if you guys let on that there's even a possibility.
Yeah.
So I remember one year it was at Sega Genesis that and we don't have a lot of money, but yet there was like this expectation that I was actually going to get that, and I was like so angry in the morning, like when I got up and it wasn't there, and eventually my parents I got it later on that night, and so, but I remember I was like really upset
because your expectation.
Yeah, exactly, and so, and you're 16 or whatever the hell, 14 or whatever the hell age I was, you know, I was a teenager, close to her age, and I, you know, your brain isn't all the way there, you know what I'm saying, and so
it's hard to remember what it's like to be that age. You are self-centered. That's just a natural. Developmental part. There's things I could definitely do though that'll give her more gratitude. I mean, I was in fact I told my wife, I was like, maybe instead of sending her to college, I'll have her go to a third world country for a year and work there, and then go to college. This is when I was angry.
She'll appreciate the car.
You know what I mean?
You're thinking of all these things.
Yeah, like, she should go live in the slums for a year just so she knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know,
I mean, you know, Arthur Brooks gave me some of the best advice when we were talking. I mean, I openly talk about my greatest fear, right? Is my son growing up in a different life, right? And so, and I remember Joe DeSena when we hung out with him, and he's big on, manufacturing adversity.
He's hardcore about it.
Yeah. And so I took a lot of that, like, I agree. Like, I got it. And so my wheels are always turning, like, how do I make this fucking harder on him? Like, this is too easy. How do we make this hard? Like all the time. And it was Arthur Brooks who kind of settled me in on that a little bit and just said, life is hard, Adam. Life will present plenty of adversity and challenge.
That's true.
And because you're a father that cares so much about that and that you're aware of that as you are, you'll handle that.
You're like 90% of the way there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, don't worry. It's going to come. Yeah. He's going to have a hard, it may not be because he can't afford a pair of sneakers or maybe some things that you could relate to, but life will hand him adversity. And when it does, you'll be a good father. They'll be right. Like that kind of settled me down a little bit.
And she did apologize before she saw her car too.
Oh, see, that's
later in the day, she said, I'm sorry. And then when we were in the car alone, when we're sitting there, she's looking at it. I'm like, hey, so what was it like at school? She's like, oh, you know how it is. She's like, the waterworks start coming and I can't stop it. And then people are watching me, which makes it even harder. And I'm like, did you tell anybody? She's like, I'm not going to tell everybody I'm crying because I didn't get a car. So I'm like, she's aware
yes,
that it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But your emotions get running and you can't, you can't stop the whole thing. But man, it just, and it made me think it's just, I know my dad had these situations with me because of the way he grew up. He used to tell me stories all the time. I thought he lied, but my dad's stories are crazy. His are extreme, bro.
Yeah, his are so crazy that you're like, you had a full meal tonight. Yeah. How could you complain?
They're not even just bringing anything up.
My dad used to.
Your toes are not sticking out your shoes. How could you complain?
I have a blanket.
He used to tell me,
I'm living the life of luxury,
bro. He told me one time, I didn't believe him. He's like, you know what toys I had when I was a kid? I had one tire and I had a stick. Like a tire and a stick.
How do you compete with that?
And then I remember I went to Sicily and him and his brothers were reminiscing when they were kids. Remember the tire we had? Oh my God, it was so fun. Yeah. I'm like, you actually had a tire and a stick? They're like, yeah, we used to push it along the road. That's what we used to play with all the time. That was our toy. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
When I hear stuff like that, though, I also wonder like how much of like that creativity side and stuff like that we have robbed generations.
Yeah.
Because I see so much value in the ability to do that. I felt bad. I had a buddy who was talking to me over my birthday weekend. And it was the first time he had met Max. He's like, oh my God, he's so cool, this and that. He's so chill. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's what everybody says when they meet him. I say he's a super great kid, whatever, right? He's like, hey man, have you got him really into video games yet? And I'm like,
yeah.
I said, yeah, I'm trying to avoid all that stuff. And he kind of looked at me like sideways. Just, yeah, man, just what that does to their brain at such a young age. I'm not saying I'm going to be a dad who says he can't play them, but I'm going to delay that as long as I can.
Yeah.
And right now, like seeing him in the living room come up with his own games and with his blocks and like make believe and stuff like that, I'm going to ride that wave as long as I possibly can. And so far, not having an iPad, not having video games around him, it's non-existent.
Yeah.
In his world. It isn't even there and doesn't, he's missing out on it. I'm sure one day he'll be a 12-year-old and one of his friends will, and then sure he'll play and stuff. But I'm gonna delay that and replace that with Uno cards and Trouble and Sorry and playing interactive games as long as I possibly can. And I felt bad because I was just being honest with him about my son, but I felt like I was also insulting somebody about how they're raising. So it's such a hard dynamic to try and bring that up because he was like excited to tell me to like get my kid playing video games, and I'm like,
that's terrible for kids.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I did it in like a real soft like way around it.
Did you introduce him to cocaine yet?
Yeah. No, I did. I was totally not that parent either. I was like nicely like saying like, I've just kind of chose to do this, and then I said I think that has a lot to do with what you see, how his personality, why he's so calm, he's loving, he's interactive, he looks you in the eye when you talk to him as a stranger, like so. Those games, man, they could really suck those kids in. So
totally. I got to talk about Vicky. So she does our hair every Monday, so we look decent on the podcast. By the way, when I look back at old podcasts before we used to have Vicky, wow, dude. I was close to like werewolves.
Post Vicky and the chairs.
Oh, God. What were we doing?
That's so awkward.
How can you tell
People
me?
must have thought we were tiny.
Well,
big ass chairs.
Yeah, people did.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things we always get when people run. Like, God damn, you guys are all hella big. It's like, well, it's because we were in those fucking
big ass
giant chairs. We call it all.
With our arms.
Hey, I take zero responsibility. You guys know I don't know anything about style.
No,
and
well,
design.
remember,
That's all
I had
you
to
guys.
regulate and get these ones.
So remember when that was my buddy who owned that furniture store.
Oh, you
that
looked
was
it up.
right underneath the original studio. And when we first, we stapled all the sound stuff because we all said we'll never record this.
Yeah.
We all
Nobody
agreed.
wants to see us.
Yeah, we were like, this is so stupid. Who would ever watch us? Like,
I know.
who thought you would watch podcasts? Like, we just didn't think that way. And so everything was more for comfort or sound.
Yeah.
And so the big comfy couches, Doug, I remember Doug was like, oh yeah, those will absorb a lot of sound.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, so I was talking to Vicky, and she was talking about how she loves her 8. So we hooked her up with an 8 sleep.
Yeah.
And she's been using it, and she sets that thing to 55 or something like that.
That's what mine
She
is.
freezes her little butt off in there.
Arctic lady.
Yeah, because she was getting sweaty, Doug. She was getting sweaty at night, and she's like, I don't know if it's perimenopause or whatever.
Perimenopausal stuff, yeah.
And but she's like, man, I freeze that thing, and I just sleep. By the way, are they
What a
having,
category, though.
Are
dude.
they Black Friday?
My wife's going through that,
Are they
too.
Black Friday sale too, Doug?
I think everybody's
Yeah, they have a massive sale going
Everybody's
on
got
right
a sick
now.
massive sale.
Let me tell you what it is. They're doubling the typical offer. that they give,
wow.
Which is up to $700 off.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
That's a huge saving.
Yeah, yet another cool thing they've rolled out is financing options.
Oh.
So you don't have to pay for it all at once.
Really?
What's the history?
really smart.
We might have looked this up a long time ago because this is airing on Black Friday.
Yeah, today is Black Friday.
What's the history of Black Friday? Would you mind looking that up? When did that start?
I know this.
I know, and like
I know this.
I looked at you
was
because I figured
this
it was.
must
I
have
do
been
know
a
this. I
common
know I've
thing
read something on
because people preparing for Christmas, and like it must have been just a conscious effort. Everybody would shop right after.
Like, who was the
It
first one to do it?
No,
don't know.
I mean,
I don't
it
know which
really
store picked
quickly
up on it.
became the most popular shopping day after.
So everybody
Everybody
realized-
after Thanksgiving would go shopping, and then I think it turned
Must
into
have been
go
one of
ahead,
those
Dad,
big
what does it say?
department stores.
Well, interestingly, the term came from the Philadelphia police in the 1950s to describe the chaos of post-Thanksgiving shoppers. And second, the retail explanation that the day marks when stores go from being in the red at a loss to in the black.
Oh, that's why it's Black Friday.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Wow.
That's really
you were in
cool.
red all year.
You know,
Do you know what else has crazy history to it that has a name? Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah, I've always
that's a
wondered
pirate.
about that.
Oh, dude, no,
That's a
check it out.
pirate,
No, it's
right?
not a pirate. It's a
Or a
No,
Viking?
Viking.
A
Yeah,
It's a Viking god.
It's a
Odin.
Viking leader
Yeah.
who brought two opposing
Militaries.
militaries together. And so and Bluetooth came
The King
when
Bluetooth?
Dell and HP and they were all trying to do their own Bluetooth. And the company came and the guy HB is Howard something, I think is his name, who invented it.
Bjornsson.
Okay, so the Bluetooth logo, he was the one that knew the story of this Viking, and it's like a Viking writing H and B mixed together
Runes.
for his name.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, because it brought these two companies that were rivaling each other towards Bluetooth technology.
Let's work together so
Yeah.
we can all
Yeah,
make
yeah.
more money.
King Harold Bluetooth,
Yes.
a 10th century
Harold the
Danish
Bluetooth.
king who united Scandinavia.
He had a dead tooth also.
Well, that's actually, so they say the way he got Bluetooth, is either he had a dead tooth that made his mouth look blue, or there's another theory. There's like two different theories on why was he called Bluetooth, but one of them is that he had a dead tooth in his mouth.
You ever notice someone like that? They had one of those as a kid. You don't see those so often anymore. But as a kid, there was always
dead
that one
tooth.
kid with the tooth.
My mom had one.
Oh God, I make me
For
feel bad.
just wanna yank it?
for the longest time. It wasn't until like, I don't know, maybe a decade or so ago.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And she got it pulled out.
Finally got it, put a whatchamacallit.
You know, back to Black Friday. Black Friday is still a shopping frenzy, but since the internet and online shopping became a thing, it's not like it used to be. First of all, if you go to the mall on Black Friday, it's still crazy. But do you guys remember when we were teenagers, what it was like
Insane.
to go to the mall on Black Friday.
I had avoided it like the plague.
Where there were crowds,
people camped
outside
out the
of the
night
door.
before.
Yeah,
It was tradition that if you drove by right after Thanksgiving, you would see people camping out in tents.
Yeah.
The night of Thanksgiving, you would be camping out for the next day.
Last time I remember being a part of that was when the Wii came out.
Oh.
And it was like, because my birthday's in January as well. And so, like, this is when I was dating Courtney. And it was funny because, like, we were in line. Like, everybody was already camped out already at Target. And it was, like, all the way outside. And I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. We're not going to do this. She's like, no. Like, she was like on a mission to get me a friggin' Wii. And so, like, I waited there for a while. And then, like, she actually, like, camped out and like, made it all night.
She actually stayed there all night?
Stayed there all night.
That's why he married her.
Yeah, that's it.
That was the one thing.
I'm in. I'm in. Yeah.
I remember that
to
we.
Do that for
I remember
me.
that we.
Oh yeah, we had. I had all the trainers over.
That was before you guys married, right? It was.
Yeah.
That's why he married her right there.
That's it.
That's like my story of coming home and Katrina watching football. I was like, that's it. I'm marrying this girl.
Wow, dude.
She's like that determined, to get me the thing.
She's the one.
Like, wow, nobody's ever done that for me before.
I have a story with Jessica, but I can't share on the podcast. But I knew. That's it right there, baby.
It was that one maneuver.
That's she's gonna be so mad.
I can assume.
Podcast. But I used to hate the holidays because of that. This is before I became a Christian, before I knew the value of it. And I used to hate it because I'd be like, this is stupid.
It is like mass consumerism.
It was just, I used to hate it. I'd go to the store because I'd forget. And I'd go to the store to get something.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I'd want to punch everyone because people are just racing and couldn't park
it's
anywhere.
The parking lots really that was.
Come on, man.
I mean, honestly, from here on out, it's gnarly. I mean, it gets. I mean, once Black Friday starts, all the way till Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas. My uncle used to shop on Christmas Eve every year. That was like
that's a guy thing, by the way.
Yeah.
That's dudes.
Oh my gosh.
It's
limited options.
What's his list?
I mean, with everything that you can do online now, Katrina and I have been pretty consistent now. There's been a couple of years we've missed. But
we're almost done with our Christmas shopping.
Yeah, see,
right now.
Yeah, we normally do a really good job of getting lists early, and then we just Amazon for a week looks crazy at our house, just all of them coming in.
Yep.
And then it's like the best feeling ever to go rolling into December and like Christmas shopping is done, dude. Like, takes a lot of stress off the holidays.
A lot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But hey, you brought up aid sleep. I didn't know it was up today, and I didn't know you were going to bring up Vicky, but everything that I'm going through, one of the things that still hasn't recovered is my thermostat, dude. So,
your internal.
So my poor aid sleep can't figure me out right now.
The
I'm like sweating, then I'm freezing, and it's like,
the AI is like,
it's like up and down all over the place. And I actually shut it off one night because I'm like, I don't want to screw this thing up. It was like perfect for my body for the longest time, but my thermostat, I don't know how long that's going to take. But that's
well, you said last night you had a
first night, bro.
2 weeks.
First night, yeah.
Praise God, bro.
It was like. So
I'm going to give you more. I'm just going to love on you more, dude, on this podcast. I could not tell when I know because you talk about it, but you can't. You've come to work, and you've been great. You're not acting like somebody that I would look at and be like, this guy is not getting sleep. He's going through it. You're coming in here doing your best, and I can't tell, bro. Great job.
I think it's a testament of doing what we do. I'm pretty lucky that. I've got partners like I've got a team like I have. We get to come and do this. Like this is so. The whole thing also put me in a place of gratitude too. So I think that's
wonderful.
So I think that helped, and in part of my gratitude is that this is what I get to do for a living. Like how blessed am I? And so, it was pretty easy to muster up the energy to be here. Towards the end of the day, or midday, I get tired.
Sure.
Yeah, and like the headaches and the temperature stuff and all that like that. So that part was hard. But as far as getting up to be here, no, man, I love doing this.
Yeah, you can tell, dude. So anyway, speaking of substances, so last night we're at the birthday dinner, and my daughter has figured out that if she wants she can tell on me to my mom because Italian moms, they just don't get out of that stage. They just don't. So I use nicotine lozenges here and there, and my daughter saw me use, and she's like, "What is that?" This was a while ago, and I'm like, "Oh, it's nicotine." What? Because nicotine's associated with cigarettes. And I'm like, "It's not really bad for you." She's like, "Yeah, but is it good? But is it good for you, Dad?" I'm like, "It's a little addictive or whatever." So I'm gonna tell Nonna. Like, you're going to tell my mom on me? You know I'm a grown man. And then I'm like, please don't tell her. Well, she did.
Between us.
She did. And so last night we're at the birthday dinner and she brings it up again. And so then my mom is doing the whole, I'm getting texts from her this morning. You know, she's sending me articles.
Rolled you under the bus.
She's sending you articles.
She's sending me articles. And she's saying, I got to read to you some of this. This is just.
Oh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Italian moms are the best, dude. I mean, I love my mom so much, but she's like, she sends me articles of, like, does nicotine change your brain? Yes, nicotine significantly changes your brain by altering its reward system, which leads to addictive behavior. I'm like, yeah, Mom, it's addictive. She's like, honey, you tend to sway towards obsessions and crutches. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I know that, Mom.
I'm open about it.
Yeah. And then she said, and then I'm having fun with my mom. And she sends me a text. She's like, caffeine's probably healthier. I'm like, well, I use that too.
Mom, I stack them
Beat
together.
you to it.
Yeah, dude. And then she sends me this text. She goes, you know what? I'm just going to let go and let God. And then I replied, I said, Mom, telling me you're doing that is not doing that. But now I got to get it from my mom. Come on.
Oh, man.
Leave me alone. We were in the car. I was driving my parents home last night from dinner, and my mom's in the back, and she's doing this, right? And my dad's just like, oh, my God. So then he's like, can we change the subject? And he goes off into some other subject. And my mom's like, yeah, if you don't want to be a father, talking to my dad like that, like, oh, you don't want to parent him right now. My dad's like, oh.
He's a grown-ass man.
He goes, he's got kids. He's in his 40s. Will you stop? He's like, I'm always going to be your mom. I'm always going to love you. I'm like, oh, my God.
It's so good.
100%. She will bother me about this until I stop.
God. That's so gotta love her for that.
Oh yeah.
I gotta shout out another one of our partners. Going through this whole process, I told you guys that the Christmas mix blend has been the morning thing every day, and then I've been on double LMNTs every day too.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah. So that's been like a consistent.
What are you noticing that's helping with?
Well, of course, I went down the rabbit hole of like. All the things to do for withdrawal and what I need. And staying hydrated and potassium are really big to getting everything back, right? So I've been hardcore on those, and it makes a huge difference. So
their grapefruit flavor,
that's my favorite.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like that the
I'm
most.
not a grapefruit person.
I never liked grapefruit.
But it goes good with the
I think everybody ends up in the grapefruit.
It's the best
camp.
one.
Yeah.
Second is watermelon. But grapefruit is...
I like the black cherry, but yeah.
The watermelon and the black cherry I played out early because I think those are the like good ones to introduce you to because they have like a sweeter, good flavor. But I like the more tardy, like grapefruit and lemon or the lime one. And then now they have the orange one I really like. Like, no, it's...
I got my dad using it because he likes to use the sauna. And he was telling me, this was a few weeks ago, he's like, sometimes if I go in the sauna too long, then I feel tired the rest of the day. And so I said, you need more water. He's like, I'm drinking water. I said, you need sodium. So I gave him the LMNT. I said, drink one of these before you go in and then drink some while you're in there.
Yeah.
He's like, that was magic. So yeah, that's why he felt terrible. Was that you needed the sodium.
You guys know they're in Targets and stuff now too, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking to them, right? Because this is our year. This time of year, we renew all our contracts for next year, right? So with our partners and stuff.
we're investors in their company too.
Yeah. And one of the things one of their frustrations they were expressing to Katrina was just like, they had to hire, how weird is this? They had to hire an outside company to stock Target because Target employees weren't keeping the
They were selling out so fast?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they actually had to hire a third-party company.
Interesting.
Normally when you have a negotiation with Walmart, Target, companies like that, like that's part of the negotiation is that, hey, we supply you, you keep them on the shelf.
These are the cans that they're selling?
Yeah. And they were selling out so fast that their representatives were going around. They were like, they're not keeping it on the shelf.
You know what? There's another side to this that just occurred to me, and I already see it in my own house, that makes LMNT so brilliant. So yes, it's got this electrolytes. It's got enough sodium. Most electrolyte powders don't have enough sodium to really make a big difference, especially if you're an athlete. But there's another part here, which is that it's palatable. There's no artificial sweeteners or sugar, but they've done such a good job of making it taste good that it encourages people to drink more water.
Yeah.
And it just occurred to me how many times I had challenges with clients to drink more water, and the reply I would get from them is it's boring.
Yeah.
And I remember as a trainer, it's like, boring, it's water.
Yeah.
But something like this, because it tastes good, encourages you to drink more.
Yeah.
So you got the dual benefit of the electrolytes.
That's a common thing, a lot more common than you'd think. And,
Yeah.
and too, when I was in like the Midwest, it was like nobody drank water. It was all sodas. Like it was soda for this. It was like a mineral water with something in it. Like everything had something in it. It wasn't just pure water. And I always thought that was weird. But like, I think a lot of people grow up like that. And so to have an option that's a little more healthier.
Well, yeah, if you grow up on like drinking soda pop and grape juice,
water is
a hard habit to break.
No, I had a lot of clients that were like that had a hard time just drinking water. It doesn't taste good. It tastes like
know. The first time I heard it, it blew my mind. But
Yeah.
it was so common that I was like it was like a training focus half the time. It was you gotta drink boring water, dude. keep drinking it.
I had to. I wanted to bring up because I don't have a lot of wins all the time, and like I got a win recently with Everett, and it was mainly because, so I've been putting him into a lot of different sports and a lot of different physical outlets because I know
basketball, lacrosse, football,
track
gymnastics,
and field,
track. He's done tons of stuff.
And like, it hasn't been smooth all the time. Like it's been like, we've got rough patches where he felt like I was like being very authoritative and like, militant about like my hard lines with it, because it's like, I value it just as much as education. Like I really feel like it's that important in conjunction with what he's doing at school. And I just want to relax. And his view of relaxing is like,
I love it when you
playing video games.
I love it when you do your kids' voices.
Dad, I want to relax. Why are you always like coming up and telling me to get outside and like, do all this physical activity? I'm tired. It's like, no, you're not. You're not even close to being tired. Like you have no idea. But anyway, we get back and forth, and and I tried to like step out, and I'm like, okay, like I understand you're doing a lot, but it's good for you. Like it's good for your mental state. It's good for your mood. It's good for your interactions with people. Yeah. It's good for you like being on top of your school and your studies. Like it's that like helpful. Like you don't see it. And like, he's just, oh no, like, I just need to relax. And like, you're too much, Dad. And like, always like fight me on it. And this was after like basketball, and he's been really working hard to get some playing time. Cause like he's learning, you start a new sport, you have to start from the bottom up. Yeah. And like, he doesn't have a natural like gift of like, oh, I'm awesome at this sport. And, like this is easy. Like it's completely hard, and his struggle. And like, we've had to really work at it, and he's doing well now, but just like he got home and he's like, he's tired, and he's just like, reflecting. And he was to me and Courtney, he's like, I just feel like I'm just a better person, doing sports, and I just feel like I'm more balanced and like all this stuff. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, oh really? That's so interesting. Like I totally agree. And it's like just funny because like it just
dawned on him.
Yeah, it just dawned on him.
Dude, that's awesome though that he's getting it. I mean, he's still hella young, so for him to start piecing that together.
That's a huge win when you get your teenage kid to be like,
right,
you were right. I was all right. This is cool.
Yeah,
like,
they don't want to say that. It's,
even if they feel it. You were killing me earlier. We were off air, and I was telling you about the story. Off air, I was telling him about how my mom was getting on me, and my daughter was getting me with the nicotine lozenge. And Justin was talking about when you were smoking cigars at one point, and your kid, oh bro.
I went through a kick because of
this is so funny, dude.
Of COVID, because like. Everybody's stressed out. And
so you went the other way and smoked cigarettes?
So I'm just like,
cigars.
Yeah. I went outside on the deck, and I'm just like, I just need a moment, and I kind of went through a spell of like, I don't know, maybe a couple times a week. Like I would be outside and I'd smoke a cigar, and like Ethan would be looking at me through the window and just be like shaking his head and like really disappointed in me. And then like walked outside, and he's like, Dad, I think we should talk. I don't think this is good for you. And like I'm like, bud, I know it's, it just helps calm me down. Like I'm just kind of, I'm like, go jump on the trampoline. Like, leave Dad alone. I'm just out there smoking cigars.
He said, Justin said he went up to him and he's like, I'm kind of worried about you.
Yeah. Like, he was like really worried, like concerned about me. I'm like, you don't have to be, bud. Like I got a handle on this. I'm an adult.
That's the best, dude.
But I mean, I ended up stopping doing it because he really was like, he was like concerned.
I know my parents feel like when I go in their house and throw food away and stuff.
So good.
It's
so good.
It was funny.
Brain.fm plays sounds and music that have been engineered to induce states of mind. By the way, fMRI studies show this actually works. In other words, you listen to focus, your brain becomes more focused. You listen to meditate, your brain meditates. You listen to sleep, go to sleep, stay asleep. It works. It's crazy. Don't believe me? Try it for a month for free. Go to brain.fm/MindPump. Back to the show.
Our first caller is Emily from Florida.
Hi, Emily.
How you doing, Emily?
Hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good. How are you? How can we help you?
Good. Really excited to be here. So I will read my message. Let's see here. Okay. Hi, Mind Pump Fitness. I'm a big fan of the podcast and I absolutely love your program. I've tried Powerlift. I'm 5'8", 29 years old, female, weighing about 155 pounds. I have about 17% body fat, according to a DEXA about 2 months ago. I am a personal trainer part-time, but I do have a full-time desk job as well. I average about anywhere between 10,000 to 15,000 steps a day. Although I'm not always 100% consistent, my macros are usually about 150 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and I would say upwards of around 70 grams of fat. I'm writing in because I am experiencing a little bit of a plateau and I would like some guidance on what to do next. Being a personal trainer, I like following programs like yours. I also have followed like Jordan Syatt's and a few others because I feel like it really helps expand my knowledge and keeps me fresh as a trainer. Although I have multiple MAPS programs, I've only completed Powerlift. Truthfully, I actually just purchased quite a few with your 60% off sale, which I am very grateful for. That came in clutch. At this point, I'm following my own structured 2 upper and 2 lower workout splits. I enjoy my workouts, but I feel like, I'm plateauing a bit and I'd like your experience on what to do next and what program to do next. I welcome any and all feedback. I love you guys and appreciate all you do.
Emily, do you realize what's going on here? You're literally 155, 17% body fat at 5'8", which is incredibly fit, and you admit that you don't even consistently 100% hit your macros all the time. Like that's, if you really wanted to get leaner, or I don't know if that's the goal, or is the goal to get stronger, consistency, a little more consistency around nutrition might squeeze out a little bit more for you. But you're actually in an incredible place. What's the goal? What's the main goal?
Yeah, like, what's your plateau?
What are you wanting to do?
I don't honestly. I know I'm in a good place physically. I have no I'm aware that I'm on an elite level of in terms of my body composition and where I'm at. I kind of like that challenge, the constant like chasing some sort of goal or, I loved Powerlift because it made me push my weight. I never have, deadlift or squatted what I was doing in that program. And that was due to the structured guidance I had from you guys in that program of, reaching those lower reps, higher weight kind of deal. I guess at this time, I just feel like truly, I feel like with how much energy and time I do put into my health and fitness, physically, I guess I would be chasing strength because I'm looking to kind of, Yeah, gain strength. My core has always been something that it's like my problem area that for me, it's like my eyes immediately go to that. And I don't know if that's would be a nutritional thing, cutting out something or maybe not cutting out, but increasing my calories, I would imagine is something you'd probably tell me to do. I've never done a bulk. So the idea of that really scares me. But I trust what you guys have to say, and I'd like to fully take on whatever advice you give me and give it a go.
That's great.
Emily, so your goal is strength. You want to get stronger.
Yeah, I want to get stronger. I don't want to lose any body fat. I want to just gain strength.
If you
surplus.
and you kind of already answered this, but you said you train people too. If you were your own client, right? So just imagine that you're talking to you, and you came to you and you're like, "Hey, I want to get stronger." What would you tell you?
I would tell me that you need to fuel that strength.
Yeah. You have good advice.
I've learned it from the best, honestly. You guys have totally changed my life. It's amazing.
Well, you ready? Are you ready for some real changes?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to eat more. And you're too lean to make the kind of strength gains that you're looking for. You need to, here's where it's going to get scary. You ready? Okay. You got to eat more, but I got something more scary for you. You also got to gain some body fat. You got to get up to probably 19, 20% to really maximize those strength gains, and it will look great.
But the beauty,
don't worry about it.
The beauty of that is on the path there, you're going to be eating way more calories than you've ever eaten, and you can always come back.
And you're going to build more muscle.
You can always come right back to where you're at. You have the tools, you have the discipline, you have the know-how to do it. And so it's not like you have to stay up there forever if you don't like it. What happens to a lot of female clients that we send this path, they end up going, "Oh shit, I really like this.
I like it." Yeah. And you're probably going to have a better hormone profile. You're probably going to have more energy,
more metabolic flexibility. So nutritionally, you can get away with more.
Libido will feel good. Joints will feel good, and you're going to be stronger than you've ever been before.
So just a little background in why I think I have this fear is growing up, I was always, honestly, I was a chubby kid, and I've never had a problem loving food. I love food.
Yeah.
So, that's why I feel like I've worked so hard to get to this place. And I can honestly say, like, I still do eat. Like, I just eat whole natural foods, kind of like what I feel like you guys tell everyone.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem of actually eating it. It's like knowing where my numbers are, that I'm someone like I'm disciplined. I can follow a plan. If you tell me what to do, like you jump, tell me to jump, I'll ask how high. Like I want to know, do you have an idea of like numbers I should start hitting?
Add 25 grams of carbs and add another 20 grams of fat. That'll do it.
Just start there.
Nothing with my protein?
Or I mean, you can have a little more protein if it comes with that. It's not a big deal. I mean, I where your fat's at, I'd love to see you at 80 grams of fat consistently. So I think that'll serve you alone.
Yeah, I looked at your calories. It looks like you were right around 2,100 or something like that.
I would say I'm between 2,000 to 2,500.
You should probably live at 2,500. Mm-hmm. So 2,500 is where you're going to live, not going down to 2.
And you're in such a good place in all your macros that you can evenly distribute that across, or you can go and so here's what's great about where you're at macro wise. Okay. And you don't need to overthink this. As long as you're hitting your protein consistently, that comes number one priority. But you have room in carbs, rooms in fat, and room in protein to go up in any and all. And so I would choose whatever you want, or I would play with it. Maybe I would get those extra 300-400 calories from fat for a week and see how that my body feels and responds. Then other weeks I would get the calories from carbs to see how I feel. And then I would do protein, and then I do a mix, and really just evaluate what satisfies your cravings, what gives you the best workouts. What do you see yourself doing more consistently? Because you have the room in every macro to go up and be completely healthy and good, and then you choose what you like.
But I'll just back you up. 'cause what Adam's saying is such great advice, and I'm just going to back you up and say it would be great to be able to do this and not fear that chubby girl that you were when you were a kid. Mm-hmm. Like, how would you like to do this and not be fearful anymore?
I love that. And I've had some, as a 29-year-old female, I can confidently say, like, I've had my own journey with my health and fitness. Hey, sorry, I have dogs. I can confidently say that, I've had the point where I was noticeably too lean. And now I know that, like, I feel like I'm in a healthier place. I'm fueling my body correctly. But I just feel like now I'm kind of looking to not be lean, but be strong.
Yep.
And like
Good.
be that, example that I know like my clients need. And, I'd want to be for someone else. With that, what program would you guys say out of your programs for me to?
I'd love to see you do something more novel. But I also want you to do something that you're going to be motivated to do. So I get if you really love powerlifting on that one, but like Map Strong or Old Time would be like a really cool program.
For traditional, more like strong, powerlift, anabolic would probably be your programs for strength.
Okay. I actually just got anabolic with that sale.
Run that.
And is it 2 days a week?
Well,
you do it 3.
Yeah, you do 3.
So it'll give you 2 workouts, but you could do them Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, workout A would be duplicated in the week 1, and week 2 it's workout B. And then as you get to the later phases, then it's a 3-day.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I did yesterday I did the pre-phase.
You don't need your pre-phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, someone with your experience, we jump right into the program.
Go right into phase 1.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Phase 1, bump your calories, get strong, and stop measuring your body fat. Don't weigh yourself. Focus on the strength. Fuel the strength. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you get stronger and your body fat percentage actually goes up, you're going to feel so good. But the best feeling is going to be the getting rid of the fear, because then you're going to see like, oh, this isn't scary at all. Like, this is totally fine. This is great.
Yeah, no, I agree. At one point, I don't think I would ever have considered, quote unquote, like bulking. I don't know if this is considered bulking 2,500. But I know that, like, I hear you guys talk to callers and say, like, how amazing is it to get your calories up to a place that your body is working so efficiently on, higher calories. And I know it's not a myth, it's real. So I want to get there too.
Yeah. You're going to respond really well. Yes, you're going to respond really well because you're not coming from a really scary place. You're actually coming from not a bad place. But what you've been doing for a while is meeting your intake with your activity. And so you're just kind of like, and that's why you're walking around at 17% body fat.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of playing with that, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when you go in that surplus, now you've got the building blocks to really build the strength and stuff, and you're gonna feel like a superhuman. And your body's gonna respond really well to this.
Yeah, awesome. I'm super excited.
Cool.
So I will continue with anabolic.
Yep.
And I'll bump my calories to 2,500, staying there.
Yep.
Increase my carbs and fats, maybe some protein, and I'll see where I go.
Yeah, right. We know where you're going to go. You're going to get strong as heck.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for speaking with me.
You got it. Thanks, Emily.
I really appreciate it. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. It's going to be, she's so here's the deal. When you reverse diet someone who came from a really super low calorie, that's scary. It takes time. It takes a
long time.
She's healthy.
Yeah.
So she's just going to go into a bulk and just get strong. Right out the gate.
Switch is going to be flipped.
Well, that was my original point of like when she first dropped all the numbers. I'm like, you're fine. You're fine. Like you're incredibly lean.
She could live there
already. You're eating 2,000 plus calories. So she's not in like this unhealthy bad state. But what's your goal? Oh, okay, you want to build more strength. Well, no shit. You're not going to go anywhere with that low a calorie, that much activity. You've probably much peaked out what you're going to get. She bumps 400 or 500 calories, switches to a new program, and train hard. She's going to turbocharge that.
Our next caller is Shelby from Alberta.
Hi, Shelby.
How you doing, Shelby?
What's happening?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're good. How can we help you?
Okay. So I'll kind of read my email here. I'm from a small town in Alberta, and last year I bought a gym because that's what you do in small towns.
Wow.
Prior to that, I had no interest in working out, but then I had to justify the purchase. So had a couple pounds to lose and decided that I might as well make use of this facility. I ended up teaching classes last year, 2 to 3 days a week. So my own like workout programming wasn't super consistent. Obviously I was moving, but my diet also wasn't consistent. So like I knew what I needed to do, but I wasn't exactly doing it. I was sitting around 150 pounds. I'm 5'8" and 27 years old. So this spring we stopped classes for the summer, and that's when I got the chance to really commit to my own fitness programming. Around end of April, beginning of May is when I started being really consistent. So I was working out 3 days a week, walking 10 to 15,000 steps, and trying to run 5K once a week, but I hate cardio, so that wasn't always consistent. My diet was pretty dialed in at 1750 calories, and I managed to get the weight off. So I bounced around with programming from push-pull legs to upper lower, and just recently switched to 3 days a week full body. My reasoning was that I felt I wasn't really giving my all on leg days, so I tried this. I'm down to 135 pounds. I started reverse dieting in September, and now I'm up to 2250 calories and consistently getting 130 grams of protein. So my focus for this winter is to put the muscle back on and just kind of see what I can do. So I'm still doing 3 days a week, but that will be switching right away here because we're about to start classes up again. So I'm going to drop that down to 2 days. I guess something that I've been playing with that I'm kind of just interested to know your thoughts on is supersets versus resting between, like doing 2 exercises and then rest, or adding drop sets to try and get past a plateau and going down to 2 days a week. What kind of split would you look at? Would I stay with the full body or any other suggestions?
Tell me a little bit about the classes you're going to be teaching.
So it's going to be like a full body boot camp, like interval style, 1 day a week. Well, probably 2 days a week, and probably Zumba 2 days a week.
And you're doing the class with them?
Yeah.
Okay. We definitely don't want our strength training to be supersetting. And in fact, you want to go the complete opposite direction, almost power lifter style, where you do a set, rest for 3 minutes, do another set, 1 exercise, rest, because you're going to be doing so much circuit and fast pace, almost cardio, weightlifting and all the other stuff. Yeah. If you want to get the benefits from lifting weights, you're going to need at least a day or 2 of that in your week. Otherwise, you're just going to burn.
The other option is to do a couple lifts a day, like a MAPS 15 style workout. So you obviously have access to barbells 6 days a week, and so you basically do 2 lifts a day. So every day it's like 20 minutes rather than 2 days a week of this kind of full body.
That would
workout.
serve you well with your already volume.
That's right. And that might actually build more muscle for you.
That would be ideal if you would be down to do it.
I know.
And then the other side of it too is you got to bump your calories when you're adding these classes. So whatever you're eating now is not enough.
Yeah, you were going to say that.
Yeah. So I would jump another 400 calories. We could send you MAPS 15. Follow that and get stronger. That's how long have you been? I got to back up here too for a second, Shelby. You just bought a gym.
I wanted to address
nonchalantly. That's just what you do.
You have no idea. This was a whim. I looked at my cousin one day and I was like, you know that gym that's for sale? I think we should buy it. She goes, well, I've been thinking about it. I was like, well, let's just go look at the building. Like, this was just a random Friday night.
Wow.
So we looked at it, made an offer the next week. They accepted. The inspection was good. And then we were like, oh, man, we own a gym. Okay.
Wow.
Now, were you like a major lifter or consistently before?
Trainer or anything?
No. Just felt a calling. That's awesome.
Okay.
So since then, I got like my group fitness certification, my Zumba, and I just got certified as a personal trainer. So like, we're committed, but it's,
yeah.
Okay. Well, and that was when? Last year?
Yeah, like we've been open for just over a year.
Okay, so this is what's great. You're new with this with yourself, and so your goal should always be to get stronger. For the next 2 or 3 years, if you're getting stronger, you're building muscle.
Yeah.
Now, after 3, 4 years, 5 years, you get diminishing returns with chasing strength because you start to kind of hit that kind of upper limit. Not saying you can't get stronger, but it's not as like the returns on strength right now are everything. So if you follow MAPS 15 and you feed yourself properly and you're getting stronger, you're moving in the right direction. If you're not getting stronger, then it's typically a calorie problem or a programming problem, in which case for you, the programming issue would be put less effort into the classes. What I mean by that is find a way to teach the class without you doing the workout with them. Because it is an endurance style workout, which is a competing signal to strength training.
Okay.
So any chance that you can outsource that or just teach walking versus actually doing, you're winning. That should be kind of the goal.
In fact, Shelby, I'll tell you this. This is actually good for someone like you who's new to the gym industry. There's nothing wrong with doing the workout with the group. But a lot of instructors think that if they don't do the workout with the group, they're going to be less motivating. That's actually not true. Yeah. The most motivating instructors are the ones that demonstrate the exercise while everybody's working around. They walk around in correct form and motivate people.
That's the best instructor.
Yeah, so like amateur instructors, they're doing it with them. Pro instructors are coaching while everybody else is doing the workout.
Yep.
And that'll get you out of this because that's a lot, dude, to be doing that many classes a week.
You look for the one struggling the most and you're bringing them up.
So like you demonstrate it and then you walk around and you're like motivating people, correcting form. Then you go back, show them the next one, then you walk around, that kind of deal.
MAPS 15 is a goal. Consistently hit protein.
Yep.
Another tip, if you are going to do any of the high intensity classes, drink some calories before you go into it. Get some fuel, fill your body with liquid, like liquid calories, so you digest it quick and you can use that to burn while you're in there. And follow MAPS 15 consistently and just try and get strong.
We'll send that to you. And then are you in our course? Because we teach coaches and trainers how to build their business.
No, but that would be fantastic because I am just floundering.
All right. I'm going to let's have maybe Ann.
We'll have Ann call you. So she's our head instructor for all coaches that are building their business. She'll give you a call and tell you what it's all about.
Yeah, we do. I mean, this is what we do. It's part of what we do. So, but great job.
So I'm super excited.
Are you profitable or how are you doing?
Yeah. So we kind of had to restructure some financing and whatever, but like we opened September of last year. And so end of September this year would have been a year. Right now we have somebody else in teaching classes 2 days a week. We have the backspace rented out 2 days a week.
Yeah.
So like the summer obviously is slow and we're just kind of getting through our, like figuring out what the cycle is throughout the year.
Yeah.
But we made it through the summer.
You do realize you jumped in like the hardest business.
Yeah,
owning a gym is
that's
tough.
awesome. But you're at a good time.
Small towns are different.
Yeah,
because small town we have no competition.
No,
you want a skilled personal trainer? Yeah, you get me.
I came from a small town, one gym in the entire town. My best friend owned it. I have all kinds of advice for you around that will crush, and she killed it. She killed it because she was the only business in town. So there is a lot of advantage to being in a small town where you're the only.
And you got a great personality and attitude.
And this is a good time of year for you right now. So when all the kids go back, this was such a weird learning curve for me. I always thought summer would be where we banged it out. Summer was always the hardest time to make money. When all the kids go back to school, this is when you make your money. So this is the beginning of a good time for you guys and good timing for you to be potentially getting with us.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. We'll send you that program and then we'll have someone reach out. Maybe we can help you out with your business too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right,
got it.
Right on.
I had never heard that before.
It's so great. So you know what it sounds like a drunken night with your cousin?
Yeah.
Hey, you know that empty building? We should buy that.
You're writing business plans on a napkin?
Yeah.
There's only one.
Every time you come back from Burning Man.
Make a pretty good gym. There's no gyms in this town.
This is literally like the one time that you spent an hour trying to convince us to buy a yogurt shop. Remember that? Remember that, dude?
Just want you to know.
Yeah.
That's not dead.
He literally tried to sell us on my...
through half the product.
Yeah, frozen yogurt.
Long listeners, they listen to this and they'll know in like 10 years when we have this fucking booming yogurt shop, I'm going to be like, I told you so. Yeah.
Yogurt pump.
Our next caller is Connor from New Hampshire.
What's up, Connor?
What's going on, Connor?
What's happening?
Gentlemen, nice to see you. I'll kind of get right to the point with my email. 36 years old, 6'2", and I work remotely as an engineer environmental consultant. I've been a long time listener of Mind Pump, and I want to thank you, all of you, for your insights, and your programs have generally reshaped my perspective and helped me stay grounded over the years. Bit of background: I've struggled with weight with most of my life. At 16, I was 300 pounds. And during college, I reached 365, 370. I've gained and lost 65 to 70 pounds multiple times. After college, I started working in the field of environmental cleanup work, which involved heavy travel and not so desirable locations. Despite inconsistent gym access, I discovered Mind Pump around 2015 and 2016 and began prioritizing fitness when I wasn't on the road. By 2019, I was down to 285. Early 2019, I met my now wife, and she moved in during the COVID lockdown. I was running Map Strong at the time, which is still my favorite program. And like so many others, the gym closures and pandemic habits led to poor eating and drinking and inactivity. By late 2022, I was back up to 360. And I was married. We were married in February of 2024. In August of 2024, after learning we were expecting our first child and due in April, I started semaglutide with a goal to drop below 300 pounds before the baby arrived. It helped tremendously. My appetite decreased, less food noise, and I was less inclined to drink. Reached my goal in late March, and by the end of April, I was at 295. Since then, I've maintained around 290. My workouts, I feel like I've been more inconsistent with the demands of fatherhood, but I aim for 1 to 2 gym sessions a week. Workout recovery on GLP-1 has been slower than I'm used to experiencing, even with low volume. I use the Hume Body Pod to track progress. Currently around 31% body fat, with 185 to 187 pounds of lean mass. Current track calories is between 2,300 and 2,400, with 205 grams of protein per day. And my biggest challenge is consistency. I can somewhat reliably train twice a week on Mondays and Fridays. However, travel, unexpected work commitments, and family responsibilities can often disrupt the time I've set aside for myself to make it into the gym. I'm learning to give myself grace and stay active where I can: walk, swimming, trigger sessions, bodyweight work, chores, between structured programming. Or I'll drop calories on days where I don't work out and just day got away from me. I'm considering tapering off my GLP-1 now that I've plateaued, and I want to use it to my advantage to gain strength and muscle. I've yet to discuss this with my doctor, but I want to have a clear and concise path and approach. I've outlined a phase strategy using anabolic, but I'd love your input. Go ahead.
You're doing so good. You've done so good. You really have. I mean, even the ability for you to eat 23 to 2,400 and hit your hit your protein intake on a GLP-1. And to do that, and you're still getting it, you're doing a really good job. I hope you know that. Like this, you're in a good place, and you've done really well. A lot of people that do GLP-1s, they just crush the appetite and just lose weight, and they lose a bunch of muscle, and they kill their metabolism, and then they're in this crazy. They lost a bunch of weight, but then this hole that they got to dig out of. You're in a good place. You really are.
Yeah. Yeah, and before I started, I was like, I need to do this right, or I'm going to screw myself even more. And I got that from information from you guys. Like, I got to do this right. I do not want to end up, taking this for the rest of my life, then putting myself in a spot where it's going to be wasted, wasted effort.
Connor, how old's your baby?
That's exactly where I'm going as well. I want to know, like, is it a good time right now to potentially try and ramp this up with the baby?
Yeah. She's 6 months old.
Okay. No. All right. So I got something. I think I know how to help you here. I think the best strategy. Well, let's back up for a second. What's the challenge with food? What are the things that trigger you when you're off the GLP-1? When do you go off? Let's say, for lack of a better term, go off the rails with diet.
I would say it's usually either eating out or it would be just it's like 2 weeks ago was having all the Halloween candy around.
Okay.
Luckily I'm also in a spot where I also do all the grocery shopping. So I really have a good control over what's in my house and what I like to keep around. My diet is mostly whole foods, mostly all homemade stuff, but maybe 1 or 2 meals a week. We're dead tired on a Friday, and my wife wants Thai food, and at this point, my wife wants, my wife gets. She wants Thai food, we're getting Thai food.
When you mind if I bring up a little bit more on the email that you put up there?
Yeah, sure.
It said that you also have a less desire to drink. Was that where you were getting some calories before? Was it like where you were?
Oh yeah, especially in my all throughout my 20s. I live in a nice town with a lot of great bars around, and it was like our social life was a lot of going out, drinking, having some pizza at the end of the night, the standard stuff, and I got to my 30s and I was like, this is enough, this is too much, and that thought of like, man, I just don't need a beer, I'm perfectly fine with maybe a diet ginger ale or something like that, or a big jug of water at the end of the night, but the thought of, having a lot of alcohol was just not in my purview anymore. And then it's even more so not now that I'm a dad, because I don't want to end up in a situation if there's an emergency or something that I'm, inebriated. I'm like, I gotta be ready, and I can't be in a state. So
good motivation, dude. So I asked you the triggers, like, is it stress? Is it boredom? Is it like
I would say it's boredom, and I've kind of explored this internally too of I've been a big guy my entire life, and I don't know if it's I don't really know if it's like this psychological thing that I grew up with, but like, hey, you're a big guy, you got to eat. And it's, what I mean? And if that is just, it's, grandma giving you another plate at Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like, I have no desire to eat anymore, but like, I almost feel bad if I don't eat the food. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's such a weird thing that I've reconciled that's been a problem of mine. And I've been really, really good with, or, when I can, to just put the food away. Like, it's like, I'm no longer hungry. It's like, even being on a GLP-1, it's like, oh, and now I know what hungry feels like.
I was just going to say, dude, there's a couple things here. One, you got to replace old behaviors with new ones around boredom. Right. And this is a practice because your default might be, when I'm bored, I eat. So when you're bored, find something that you can practice. And that can be like, this is when I read, this is when I stretch, I don't know, this is when I pray, this is when I play with my kid, whatever. Find a behavior that you always go to when you're bored. And at first it's going to be a conscious effort because it's not going to feel automatic, but over time it'll become your new behavior. So that's one.
Yeah.
The second thing is you want to get comfortable with the feeling of not being full. So what I hear is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that for so long you wait until, probably because of the environment you in, and I get this because I'm Italian, this is how we eat. Like, unless I'm stuffed, then I got to eat more. And so you got to try to get comfortable with the feeling of not being stuffed. So hunger to you might actually be not feeling stuffed. It might not actually be hunger. It's just, I feel like I can eat more. And so that might be what you think might be hunger. So you want to get comfortable with that. And then as a workout, I think this will be better for you, Connor. I think if you do a little bit every day versus trying to go to the gym twice a week, you'll find more consistency. And then on those off times when you got time to go to the gym and do, 4 major lifts. But I'd love to see you have a suspension trainer in your home, and every day you do a few exercises on. And that's what you do every day. Every day you get up, maybe you do it at the beginning of the day, and you do 2 or 3 strength training exercises on the suspension trainer. And then when that day comes up where you're like, oh my God, I got 2 hours to myself, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to do like 3 or 4 compound lifts. and we don't normally do this, Connor, but can I mail you? Do you have a suspension trainer?
I don't, and honestly, I live in such an old apartment. It's old Navy housing. I don't even know. Like, I have horse plaster walls and stuff like that, so I don't even know where I would put one.
Doorway.
I do. Yeah.
You could hook it over a door, right? Don't they have?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you do is you close the door and there's a little stopper and it goes in the door at the top.
Yeah.
And then
a
little bean bag that goes on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I have something similar to that with my bands.
Yeah. There you go. So what we'll do is, I'm saying we don't do this because don't come on people watching this. Don't expect me to mail you something. I'm going to send you a suspension trainer on us, and I'm going to send you Maps 15. And every day,
I have it Maps 15.
Okay, there you go. Follow every day. Every day, do a little something, and then those off days that you got time, go to the gym. That's it. That's your workout, and that'll be your consistency, bro. And it'll be great for you, especially even when you travel. You take your suspension trainer with you, and any hotel room door, you hook it up, and then you got your workout. It'll help you with work. It'll help you with a mental state. It's on it every day, a little bit every day. It's an easier habit to build. And then if you miss a day here or there, it's not a big deal.
I want to piggyback off of why Sal's going this direction. And I think it has a lot to do with probably your workload and that you have a 6-month-old still.
Yeah, dude.
And this may not be the best time to come off the GLP-1 because in a perfect world, what I would want to hear from you is that, house is getting back to its rhythm. I've got plenty I can get to the gym 3-4 days a week if I wanted to. Baby's taken care of. I'm good. I'm rested. You know what I'm saying? And okay, let's start to tail back on the GLP-1. Let's increase calories. Let's really start to push the heavy weight in the gym. And that'll be a nice transition out of where you're currently at. But if you're not quite there yet with the sleep and with the baby being able to be taken care of more and you really being able to commit to I could easily get away for 3-4 hours a week to the gym, then it's probably what you're doing is actually really good. You're doing a good job.
Yeah, your calories aren't bad.
Yeah, you're actually in a really good place, especially for the place you are in fatherhood right now.
Yep.
Now, what I don't know what your help and support is. I don't know if you have that ability to get away 3-4 times a week and you could dedicate that and you can see that consistently with your work and everything. But I'd want to hear that from you first before I would recommend going off the GLP-1 and increasing.
And by the way, a little bit every day, Connor, with what you're doing, you're going to progress. You're still going to see progress. You're going to continue to slowly progress.
Yeah,
is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and I'll just say this: especially if you plan on having more kids. Okay, you do. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like. Here's what it's going to look like for you. Most of the time, you're doing this kind of like a little bit of workout every day. I'm going to stay active, take my steps. I'm going to eat healthy. And then there are going to be periods of time when you can sprint and get after it. And then there's going to be long periods of time where, because your family's number one. So I'm going to devote myself to my family, my job. But what makes you a better father, better husband is if you stay fit and healthy. So every day I do a little something. And then in between, walk. Like throughout the day, go on walks, which I think you're doing, right? You're already doing that?
Yeah. I'll go for walks. I'll take the baby out, run. Take her for a nice walk in the jogger all the way down to downtown and back.
Love that.
You're good, dude.
Yeah.
If you follow Mass 15, do the suspension version, just every day, and then you get those occasional days at the gym. Go to the gym and do 3-4 lifts, just compound lifts. A squat, a press, a row, maybe a core exercise, and then get out of there in 45 minutes to an hour. Otherwise, you're doing 2 suspension trainer exercises a day plus walking with your diet. You're going to see yourself progress.
Yeah, that's again, it's I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where I'm just like I want to progress more, but I understand that rate is just it's not gonna be at that it's not gonna be like this or this. It's gonna be much more.
Well, here's the myth. The myth right now with your lifestyle is that there's a faster way to progress, but there isn't, because if you try to chase the faster way, you're not going to progress.
You'll burn out.
You're going to find yourself being inconsistent.
You'll stall.
You'll burn out. It'll be hard.
I'm giving you the way that's going to give you the best results too, not just the one that like the graph you just put. This is actually how you're going to get results the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. When I don't know if you read like the rest of the email about the GLP-1 down, reverse dieting slowly up. Is just your take is just that maybe that's just not the time to do that.
I mean,
maybe just give myself.
If you did, I agree with Adam. It might be not, but look, here's the deal. If you're like, I want to try it, this is what it looks like. You start scaling down the dose, and you start seeing how you feel. Replace the old behaviors with new ones. You're going to feel hungrier. All right, what does that look like? How can I deal with that? And then if you feel like, oh, I'm not ready yet, you just scale back up. So it'll kind of look like that. But I mean, it might be okay.
I mean, if I was coaching you, we would totally test this out. Like if you came to me like that, I'd be like, all right, let's test it out. And then because I'd be talking to you on a weekly basis, I would just keep an eye on it, hear you out, and then I'd be like, maybe not a good time right now. Or I'd be like, hey, you're doing great, keep it going. So
how long have you been on it?
Since September, November of 2024.
So typically when someone's been on a GLP-1 consistently for a year or two and they come off, they have better success than if it was only like 3, 4 months, 5 months. So the neural networks have started to change already around how you are with food. So, if you stayed on for another 6 months and then started scaling it down, you have a pretty good chance of being okay. But again, you find yourself being like, I'm not ready, you could just go right back up.
Right. Yeah. And I was I've been on the max dose for, quite some time. And that just kind of stalled out. Like maybe it is time that's what my thought was. Maybe it is time to just taper it down, get my appetite back, use that increase in appetite to, help with recovery and increase volume.
Honestly, I think if you did MAPS 15, even what you're eating now, if that's what you're eating consistently, you're going to see progress. I think it's the consistency is the big one.
How's your sleep and how's the baby sleep right now?
Oh boy.
That's what I'm worried about.
Sometimes it's like every 2 hours. I think last night was the first night she's only woken up once, pretty much since she came home.
Welcome to fatherhood.
But she's a very happy, healthy baby. So that's all I care about.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
That's why. Right now, I mean, again, I'm gonna go back to if you and I were talking on a weekly basis. I'm encouraging you that you're doing a hell of a job right now. You're doing really good. What you're doing. I think what Sal's saying with MAPS 15, hey, let's throw it on there. I wouldn't try and put high expectations on what to expect from that. Oh, we're going to build all this muscle. It's like, we want to weather the storm right now because it's not going to be forever that you have a baby who's waking up 3 times a night, every night and having to work 8-10 hour days like that. You're going to get through that storm. And then when you get through that storm, it's like, all right, now we scale this GLP-1 down. Now we ramp up calories a little bit. Now we get after intensity in the gym and let's see your body respond. But trying to do it while you're also going through that, you're just going to frustrate yourself, burn out, and then get discouraged.
But don't be surprised.
Not the season for it.
Yeah, but don't be surprised at the progress you see with the consistency of MAPS 15. I think that consistency is you're gonna see some good progress.
Oh, great! I appreciate that, guys.
Email Doug your address. Send back to us your address.
This is the only time I'm ever going to do this. Nobody get on here and ask.
Well, I appreciate it.
I've reached out to Jerry to contact him.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so we'll have someone reach out
wonderful.
to you.
Yep, we're on it.
All right, great.
All right, Connor.
All right,
bro.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Take care. God bless.
He's been a listener for a long time.
You think? I don't know if he's going to see great results on the suspension tray. You think so?
You know why? Because as I'm reading his email,
just because of frequency,
consistency.
Yeah, but he's lifting 2 days a week in the gym.
He's not. He said consistency in his email.
Sleeping.
Yeah. So when you read his email, as I'm reading through, he's like, "This is the biggest issue."
Let me see
that I have
because that's not what I understand. What I got. One. Okay, wait, go back. I see it. Go the other way. I saw it right there.
Yeah, my
but
workouts
I'm 1 to 2 gyms. Okay.
Inconsistent with the demands of fatherhood, but I aim for. 1 to 2 gym sessions. So what that tells me is
that's
it's
fair.
Just inconsistent.
Yeah, I interpreted it as that he's like consistently doing 2 days a week. Because if he was doing 2 days of like good full body workouts, and then
nothing wrong.
Then you go down to suspension, I don't think he's going to see more results from that. But you're right. If he's inconsistent with his lifting and it's one time,
you get a bit of a strength boost from that.
Totally.
Yeah, but nonetheless, again, if I'm coaching him, I don't care. I don't care if we don't see progress.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is not the time. Like your baby's getting up 2-3 times a week. You're on a GLP-1.
You keeping the muscle you have.
Exactly. You've done incredible to this point. It's like we weather the storm right now. It's not going to be like this forever. You're going to make a turn. You're going to be getting better rest. You're going to have more free time. Then we ramp it up. Then we come down off the GLP-1. Then we increase calories, and then you let your body respond.
That's right. Look, if you like the show, come find us on Instagram. All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. Stop doing 3 sets of 12 to build muscle and do this instead. You guys want to guess?
Stop doing the 3 sets of 12 and do this instead. With that intro, my guess is you're going to tell people to change the rep range
5
up
by
to 5 by 5 or low rep range.
Do you guys remember
the
when
angle you're going?
Yeah, so oftentimes we get stuck in like a set count and a rep count or a range that's